These are delicious. I'm not 100% sure if they're lemons or limes because they come from the same tree. I've read that limes can turn yellow if they've stayed on the tree for too long, but then I've also read that you can grow and graft lemons and limes onto the same plant, I guess. Either way, they're really good. So everybody's gone to get dinner. I'm here editing video, which brings me to one of the points that I wanted to make, that if you ever decide that you want to travel to Amalfi, you need to know a few things. First thing you need to know, if you decide to rent a car, first of all, I hope you're a good driver. The traffic is crazy, Vespas everywhere, cars zipping around corners, you're going up and down mountains on these roads that are about this wide. It's nuts. But be sure that you know the length of your trip before you rent the car, because if you don't know and you rent the car, say from a Monday to a Thursday, and then you decide, hey, I'm gonna stay until Saturday, which is kind of what we're doing, we're staying a few extra days, and the rental car company said, well, we need you to come in person to renew your agreement. Well, that's 4 hours away, so we can't really do that because that would totally waste our last day here, which this is our last full day here, by the way. I think we've pretty much worked that out. We sent an email. Hopefully everything's okay. We're taking it back tomorrow. We're gonna renew so that we can go on to Tuscany from there, which is gonna be really nice. So yeah, I guess that's just tip number one. Whenever you rent a car, plan ahead. Plan really far ahead. Second tip, whenever you rent a place to stay, whether that be a hotel or an Airbnb or whatever, because whenever we booked our trip, we didn't really know. We went through Airbnb and we got an Airbnb that was close to Amalfi, which Amalfi is not as nice of an area as Praiano, which is where we are right now. We don't like to complain, but the Airbnb was not great. The cleanliness level, like it had a weird smell to the entire room. The entire building had a really funky, just kind of a rotten smell to it. I don't know where it was coming from, which is troubling. So it wasn't great, but we were in paradise. This place is beautiful. So we weren't gonna complain about it. We weren't gonna make a big deal about it. We were just gonna power through and just enjoy our time outside of the Airbnb. But because we drove and that place didn't have parking, we had to park in one of the towns, which is a little expensive, so I highly recommend this. Getting a place that either has parking nearby or renting a room at a hotel that has a shuttle that can take you from point A to point B, because taking the bus up here is super unreliable. But since we have stayed here with our friends at this new Airbnb where they invited us to stay, we've been able to park the car in one location and walk to different restaurants and beaches and places that we want to go to without having to spend any money on bus rides, without having to spend any money on parking, because there is free parking on the street. You just have to find it. And if you stay at a hotel, there's probably gonna be free parking at the hotel. Definitely plan ahead. I'm probably gonna do a video with Danielle where she can actually outline with you what your trip needs to look like so that you enjoy it and have the best time possible. And don't get me wrong, we had an amazing time here. This place is incredible. But knowing what we know now, when we come back, we'll know what to do and what not to do and how to plan our trip and schedule it and everything like that. But overall, if you ever want to come to the Amalfi Coast, definitely do it. I recommend staying in Praiano, and let us know if you have any questions. So it is a little bit overcast right now. It's not that late. I think it's like 7:30 maybe. Sun's usually still pretty high over here, but we do have some storms coming in, so the clouds are covering everything, which is great for me. The weather is a little cooler, a little bit nicer, not as hot. It also provides me with a nice natural diffusion for video, specifically when flying a drone. So if you will, for the next few seconds, please enjoy this beautiful aerial video of the Amalfi Coast.